Hi, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Let us begin with a riddle, a mystery. I am on assignment. Where am I? Are you ready? Here's your clue. Oh, interesting. What do you think? Somebody, anybody? Jamal, Corinne, Tammy, Cynthia? Guesses? Where am I on assignment? Looks very mysterious, doesn't it? Jamal. Okay, Jamal. Okay. Way to ruin it so quickly, Jamal. Way to ruin it so quickly. Sean. Yeah. Okay. I can't fool you guys, can I? I cannot fool you guys. Here is your Thursday poll question at Smerconish.com. Which is more likely? Tesla recovers its brand loyalty among progressives, or conservatives embrace electric vehicles? And no, you can't say neither. I love today's poll question. Which of these two is more likely? Tesla recovers its brand loyalty among progressives, or conservatives embrace electric vehicles? I'll explain in just a moment. But first, thank you to Parks Casino. They have something really cool coming soon. Bill Murray, yes, that Bill Murray is coming to Parks Casino for one show only, Saturday, November 15, 8 p.m. Going to take a break from the silver screen. He's headed to an entirely different stage as he joins forces with the Blood Brothers, Mark Zito and Albert Castiglia, for a thrilling night of blues, rock, and roll. Bill Murray, the Emmy Award-winning actor, we all have our favorite. Mine is Caddyshack. Love Carl the Greenskeeper. Love Caddyshack. Could watch it 50 more times, meaning beyond the 50 that I've already seen it. But he's joining forces with Mike and Albert. They're a culmination of 45 years been together doing blues rock. Their blues rock album of the year was a debut bestseller. Bill Murray joining for one night only. It's Saturday, November 15, 8 p.m., Parks Casino. This is how you win. By the way, also coming up, Taj Mahal and Keb Mo, Gary Clark Jr., Casey and the Sunshine Band, UB40. I went through my UB40 phase years ago. Brian Regan, the comedian, Russell Peters, the comedian. ParksCasino.com for tickets. This is how you win. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Wednesday poll result, really interesting to me because we've commented, we've had this dialogue about how often it's a progressive response that seems to carry the day at Smerconish.com, but not yesterday. 35,708 votes were cast. Should parents have the right to exempt their children from school materials that include LGBTQ plus themes? And the answer was 66.55% yes. So 2/3 of our audience said yes, and that is apparently the way this decision is going to go, because by all accounts, and I tend to rely on Amy Howitt's SCOTUS blog, those who read the tea leaves and listen to the questioning by the justices think that it will be the parental side that's going to win out in this case, the parental side of those who want to opt out. From Amy Howe, the Supreme Court on Tuesday was sympathetic to a group of Maryland parents who want to be able to opt their children, their elementary age children, that's key, out of instruction that includes LGBTQ plus themes. The parents argue that the local school board's refusal to give them that choice violates their religious beliefs and therefore their constitutional right to freely exercise their religion. Yesterday on the program, it was really great. We started the show in the first hour with Sarah Brannon. And Sarah Brannon is one of the authors of one of the books that's at the center of this controversy. 20 years ago, she wrote Uncle Bobby's Wedding. And if you listen to some of the sound clips, the justices were actually, talking about Uncle Bobby's wedding. What's it all about? In the book, a little girl named Chloe is worried that her favorite uncle won't have time for her after he and his boyfriend, Jamie, get married. As she gets to know Jamie, she realizes, hey, it's a twofer. Two uncles are better than one. So my guest yesterday talked about writing that book on the heels of same-sex marriage being legalized, never anticipating that it would end up as fodder for a Supreme Court argument. I had said yesterday on radio that I was going to probably do a Robert F. Kennedy food dye poll question for today, and I'm not doing it. And I'm not doing it because I struggled with it. I was going to do, should the government phase out artificial dyes in food products? And then I was going to do, should the government phase out artificial dyes in food products, or is consumer choice more important? And I couldn't come up with anything that I thought was going to be a legitimate divide, even when the sort of protagonist of this story is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Because my sense, based on the calls yesterday and what I'm reading, is that this is what people want done. And if anything, the reaction is, why wasn't it done sooner? So no Bobby in terms of the poll question today. Instead, I took note of the fact that yesterday Elon Musk said that he's going to take a major step back from his work at DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and go and spend more time at Tesla. The Tesla CEO has become a close and outspoken ally of President Trump, Axios says, but his government slashing work at DOGE has sparked a damaging backlash on Tesla. Musk on a Tesla earnings call said, my time allocation to Doge will drop significantly, likely starting in May. Tesla's first quarter revenue total, $19.3 billion, down 9% from a year earlier and short of the S&P Cap IQ expectation, which was $21.3 billion, or said differently from the Wall Street Journal headline, Tesla profit sinks, hurt by backlash over Elon Musk's political role. And then it says that the net income, the electric vehicle makers' net income fell 71%. So these are by different metrics. They're coming up with different figures. Bottom line is they're in decline. And the consensus is that there are a lot of factors, but chief among them is the blowback from progressives who traditionally bought more Teslas than did conservatives. And so this is what got me thinking about this being a great subject for a poll question. Then I read an essay that's in the newsletter today from The Atlantic. Patrick George, the editor-in-chief of Inside EVs, wrote it. And he had this paragraph in the piece. If Tesla's future rests on left-leaning EV fans forgiving Musk for backing Trump, boosting the AfD party in Germany, and gleefully putting hundreds of thousands of federal employees out of work, then Musk may find himself longing for the days when his biggest problem was building a wild-looking stainless steel truck. So a very pessimistic view that Musk is going to be able to get back the progressive base that he once had. So it made me wonder, okay, who buys these cars and what cars do we buy? I've talked about this previously on radio. In October, Business Insider had some good data. And here's a part of what they wrote. In these divided times, everything is political. From the news we consume to the fast food we binge, but consciously or unconsciously, no consumer choice says us versus them more than what car we choose to drive. And so to get a sense of how our rides reflect our political leanings, we compared 1.7 million vehicles listed on Car Gurus with the results from the 2020 presidential election. I love this. We included only counties that were strongly red or blue, those where Donald Trump or Joe Biden won by at least 19 percentage points. Then we placed every car on a political spectrum from the reddest to the bluest. Here's the finding. The most Republican vehicle in America, the Jeep Wrangler. The second most Republican vehicle, the Jeep Gladiator. And 8 of the 10 reddest vehicles are American made. If you like Trump, you probably like Chevy. And then further along, I'm going to tell you the Democrats as well, but further along it said this. Most interesting of all are the vehicles that appeal to both sides of the political divide. Some of its models ranking high with Republicans, the purplest car maker in America, the one that spans the widest range of the red-blue spectrum. What do you think it is? Jeep. The automaker, it turns out, has made a conscious effort to transcend tribalism and forge a bond with Americans of every political leaning, veterans who drove a Jeep in the Army, soccer moms concerned about space and safety, tree huggers eager to get off the road, MAGA lovers looking for an all-American ride. So according to this data, the 10 most Republican vehicles: Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Gladiator, Chevy Silverado 1500, Ford F-150, Honda Odyssey, Ram 2500, Chevy Tahoe, Ram 1500, Chevrolet Colorado, Mazda MX-5, Miata. Those are the top Republican vehicles. What are the top 10 Democratic vehicles? Toyota Prius, Audi A4, Kia EV6, Acura TL, Jeep Commander, Dodge Charger, Volkswagen Golf, Mercedes-Benz CLA Class, Mazda CX-3, Volkswagen Arteon. Now, interestingly, you didn't hear me say Tesla among the top 10 Democrats' vehicles, but I have the data in front of me, and up until, Musk joining forces with Trump, it's indisputable that it was preferred by progressives. I think you could say that generally relative to electric vehicles. So, yeah, that's why I'm asking, okay, Musk is going to leave the White House. Musk is going to leave Doge. Musk is going back to Tesla because maybe he's outstayed his welcome, but also because Tesla is now struggling compared to where they've been and where they were expected to be. So what could turn around the fate of the automaker? I mean, it's got to be one or the other, right? Either progressives come home or the conservative footprint for Tesla grows. And I know you're tempted to say neither or both, but that's not the nature of the poll question. The nature of the poll question is to force you to select one or the other. So go to Smerconish.com, have fun with it. I think it's a really good one. Which is more likely? Tesla recovers its brand loyalty among progressives. I don't think that happens. My vote is going to be conservatives embrace electric vehicles. Do I really think they're about to? By necessity, they might have to. I think that the president on the South Lawn of the White House, by now probably a month or 6 weeks ago, when he said that he'd bought his granddaughter one model and that he was buying another as a staff car at the White House, was really trying to do all that he could for Musk. But I don't sense that in red states people have rallied to the Musk cause. My hunch is that until there's some innovative breakthrough, the sales are going to probably remain flat. But you're forcing me to choose. I think that progressives, and I base this anecdotally and on the data that I see, are so incensed about Elon Musk. Think about those acts of violence against some Tesla dealerships, chargers, and owners. I don't see them coming back. And where Tesla had established a beachhead and sort of owned the marketplace for a while, those days are over because they've now got competition from so many different electric vehicle manufacturers. So I don't think that progressives come back home for Elon Musk. I think that the only opportunity now is that he expands that tent more among Republicans than he had been able to do previously. That is how I am voting. Okay, go cast your ballot at Smerconish.com and like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe and set yourself up for notifications. All right? Have a great day, everybody. Jamal, you gave it away, Jamal. You gave it away. See you, gang.